What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Daniel, and welcome back to another video. Today, we have a few NASCAR stories to go into today. Let's just jump straight into it. So, the first thing we're going to talk about is kind of a continuation from the Chicagoland Speedway stuff. So, Chicagoland Speedway looks like will not be affected. According to an article that came out from Kickin' Tires, I think the director of the Joliet's Planning Commission, Matthew Schwartz, I believe, had this to say. Yes, the track would remain. The proposed sale only involves accessory parking on the east side of the property. Now, originally rumors were going around they were possibly thinking about demolishing the track from, the Joliet Planning Commission meetings that they were having. But then I remembered a little something called Hillwood. Now, for those of you who don't know, a few months ago, NASCAR struck a deal with Hillwood that they were going to start rebuilding a bunch of areas around the racetracks and developing areas around the racetrack. Similar to what they did with Kansas Speedway with the Hollywood Casino and Daytona 1 at Daytona International Speedway. Chicagoland does not have really anything around track. I think a lot of these tracks in general do not have a lot around them. I'm talking about Des Moines. Iowa doesn't have much around it. I'm talking about Michigan. All those racetracks that are owned by ISC, which is NASCAR owned now, are basically don't have much around it that you can do. So NASCAR is looking into upgrading areas around there, building like shopping centers, building like warehouses, things that can make money around the racetrack and help the racetrack on the weekends. So Chicagoland is not going away, which that makes me really, really happy because I think Chicagoland is a fantastic racetrack. It's one of my favorite mile and a half on the schedule, and I'm glad at this point that they're not going to be tearing Chicagoland down, and we'll most likely be having races in 2021, at least for the next couple years. Now we get into the next story. We are going to talk about Fox Sports' plan for Darlington International Speedway. According to Adam Stern, Fox Sports is planning to use drones more than usual than when NASCAR returns because it can now use them over the grandstands where fans typically go. Meanwhile, the broadcast crews of Mike Joy and Jeff Gordon will call the Darlington races from the Charlotte studio. Additionally, Fox Sports will just have one pit reporter on site this weekend at Darlington to try to reduce the amount of people at the track. That will be Regan Smith. Fox Sports brags Ager on preparing for Darlington. Saying that this was a 24-hour day job the last couple weeks is an understatement. I'm honestly not surprised that they're bringing a reduced crew to the racetrack because of the whole COVID situation that is going around. It does say that you're not going to see a lot of pit reporters out on the racetrack, and I'm not expecting there to be a lot of reporters out there regardless of what thing, I'm not expecting many people from The Athletic. I'm not expecting NBC as well. Might be see some people out there. I don't think there's going to be a lot of people going to these races for a couple months because Fox Sports is trying not to have a bunch of people get sick at once. Granted, you can put them in self-isolation for 14 days like NASCAR wants to do. But I don't think it's a surprise that they are reducing the crew because, again, you don't want to bring a ton of people there. And you also want to watch what the governments are doing as well because they're going to be looking at how many people are going to be going to these races and look at the amount of people that are attending them. And I think that is a very important reason why there is going to be a reduced crew at these races. Now we get into the next story. We're going to talk about Brett Moffitt and some good news on Brett Moffitt. A couple months ago, Brett Moffitt got into a motocross accident. Well, Brett Moffitt has been medically cleared to return to racing. Similar to Ryan Newman, where he's only going to miss 3 races after a really bad head injury, Brett Moffitt is not going to miss a single race this season for the Truck Series. It's crazy to think that you can go break your leg in a motocross accident, and now you can return to racing, and you're still got a shot to win a title. And that's the thing with Brett Moffitt is I think Brett Moffitt could honestly win the Truck Series title this year because he's one of the favorites to win. But that Truck Series field is so competitive that who really knows what's going to happen. But Brett Moffitt is one of my favorites to win the Truck Series championship in 2020. And I'm also really happy that Brett Moffitt is back in the NASCAR Gander Outdoors Truck Series, basically with no penalty as well. Now we get into the next story. We are going to be talking about a team that is returning to the NASCAR Cup Series. That is right. Tommy Baldwin Racing. Yes, Tommy Baldwin Racing is going to be returning to the Cup Series this weekend at Darlington International Speedway. Josh Bilicki is going to be the one that will drive the number 7 car this weekend. Here's what Tommy Baldwin had to say about returning to racing at Darlington. I am very excited to be returning to the NASCAR Cup Series. I have been in the sport for a long time, and I believe now is the best time to get back to the track. I'll be honest with you guys, I'm just so excited to see Tommy Baldwin race back. I'm also excited to see that there are more teams than we've ever seen. The field is filled up this weekend. We got 40 guys racing in this weekend's event. And I've missed Tommy Baldwin racing. I thought that team was done after 2017. I thought the team was never going to race again in the Cup Series. But I'm just happy that Tommy Baldwin Racing is going to be back because I've missed that team. I think that team was a very underrated team. They didn't do like a ton of stuff. They didn't go out and win races a lot, or they didn't go out and do a lot of things in the sport like winning races and competing for championships. But they were a team in NASCAR, and I've loved Tommy Baldwin Racing when they race. And I'm just so happy that they're going to be returning. And Josh Bilicki is actually a pretty good choice in my opinion because the guy can drive. I've seen him have like top 15, top 20 runs in BJ McLeod's team. And that was before we lost a lot of those big teams. So Josh Bilicki, I think, could get the team a top 30. I honestly think top 30 is possible. I don't think it will happen. I think top 35 is definitely my expectations for them. Is they're probably going to finish in the top 35. I think Josh Bilicki could get the best out of equipment. I think he's got a very good shot to have a good run. But it's really cool that Tommy Baldwin Racing is back in the sport. And great to see that there's some teams that are coming back. I mean, we got a full-fledged field this weekend. I'm so excited. And there's another reason for that. BJ McLeod Motorsports. Yes, we're going to discuss about them now. BJ McLeod Motorsports is going to be making their debut as well this weekend with BJ McLeod to drive the car this weekend. I'm really excited about this as well. BJ McLeod's team, I think, has had decent success in the Xfinity Series. They're not a team that you're going to expect to go out, of course, and win a championship. And I think over time they could become that, at least in the Xfinity Series, if they can get the funding. The thing is, they don't have the funding to back up that organization as much. They get the best out of their equipment. I'm talking about the guys who run there, like Tommy Joe Marks, who's ran there in the past, Matt Mills, and multiple other drivers like BJ McLeod as well. But I'm just excited that BJ McLeod is going to be getting his team up to the Cup Series because it's just cool when we have seen new teams show up. You know, College Racing this year made their debuts. But I'm really excited to see what BJ McLeod Motorsports can do this weekend at Darlington International Raceway. Now we get into the next story. There will be no celebratory behaviors in between teams. Now, burnouts are still going to be a thing. One of our favorite YouTubers, not favorite YouTubers, but one of our people in the NASCAR, Corvette Racing 48, shout out to him, asked, will burnouts still be a thing? Yes, burnouts are still going to be a thing, but there will be no handshakes, no fist bumps, no high fives, no hugs, etc. So there's going to be no celebratory things that will happen in this event. This is according to Bob Pockers. And the reason this is, I think, is so that you don't possibly have an infection that goes across the world. Granted, at this point, we have to live with it, but I think it makes a lot of sense. I know it sucks you're not going to see guys going to victory lane and stuff and none of those handshakes, but it just sucks. But it is what it is, and we move on. And now we get into the final story of this episode. We're going to be talking about the Truck Series and Xfinity Series in a very, very, very good light. So, the Truck Series and Xfinity Series fields have been expanded. And for the Xfinity Series, they have increased from 36 to 40 cars. For the Truck Series, we go from 32 cars to 40 cars. So for the Xfinity Series, 36 through 40 is going to receive 1 point. And for the Truck Series, they will go 32nd will be awarded 5 points, and then 33rd, 4 points, 34th, 3, 35th, 2, and 36th and 40 points. The Xfinity Series, really awesome that got extended, but I'm really excited for the Truck Series field being extended to 40 cars. The Truck Series, I think, this year is the most competitive it has ever been. And I don't think we've ever had a more competitive year in the Truck Series than 2020. But to note that the NASCAR Xfinity Truck Series fields have been expanded, I think that's going to be really fun, especially because a lot of smaller teams are going to be able to take part. And the reason that they have expanded it too is because there's no qualifying for the Trucks and Xfinity Series, so they're going to let a lot of people in. Now, very interesting, if you don't get in before the entry list is posted, you're not going to be allowed to race. So I'm expecting some pretty interesting drivers to show up. Maybe you'll see that 16 car from College Racing show up again. Maybe you'll see some more JGR cars in the races. Maybe for the Truck Series, you see like maybe Haley Deegan run this, or maybe the 21 car for Truck Series runs more. Who really knows what's going to happen? I'm expecting the Truck Series, a lot of smaller teams to be showing up. All Out Motorsports like Corbin Forrester expected to get in those races. The 92, maybe that Robbie Benton team shows up in the 92. I'm just really excited that we're going to be seeing those fields expanded because, like I said, they're pretty competitive. The Xfinity Series gets to see a lot of these smaller teams kind of show up this year because there's not as many big teams in that series. But for the Truck Series, we have 20 guys, 15 to 20 drivers who can honestly win a race. I'm talking about that Front Row Motorsports team. You also got All Point Motorsports, I think is really strong. There's really a chance that this series is going to be fun to watch. And I know there's only one truck race in like these 7 days, but hey, at least we get truck racing. In Xfinity Series, we got 2 of those coming up. That's really fun. And then 4 Cup races. You can't it doesn't get any better than this. I'm just excited the Truck Series is going to be a lot more fun to watch, and it's already more fun to watch this year than the previous years because I think the Truck Series honestly puts on the best show in NASCAR, unless Kyle Busch runs, of course, which I don't know if Kyle Busch is going to run, to be honest with you. Who knows what's going to happen? But yeah, that's the last story we're going to talk about today. So, anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching today's video. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Turn notifications so you'll be notified when a video does go live on my channel. Follow me on all my social media. All my social media's links in the description below for that, and comment your thoughts on today's video. What do you think of the Xfinity and Truck Series field being expanded? Let me know in the comments below. Do you think there are going to be a lot more wrecks in the races because of that or not? Let me know below. What do you think of Tommy Baldwin Racing returning to NASCAR? Let me know in the comments below. What do you think about Chicago? And it looks like they're not going to be going away anytime soon. Let me know in the comments below. Anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching today's video, and I will see you guys next time. Take care, everybody.